This is Eric, Wine Racing. This video is not all about the updates on the S10. There's many other cool things, so please watch. This is interesting. A lot of cool things came from the shop, not just this. But it is running. If you saw in the video, it looks like smoke's coming out of the air filter. It's actually the header wraps. They're brand new, so they kind of smoke when you first do them. To my surprise, the engine fired right off. So as soon as it got its RPM signal from the cranking, it fired right off and stayed running, which is pretty cool. Sounds great. At idle, it's nice and calm. As soon as you give it gas, woo, it's pretty amazing. Keith was checking the transmission fluid while I was doing all this. It's still a lot of bugs to work out. So like the brakes need bled. I figured that out whenever we were going through the gears. There is no brakes now, so I got to take care of that. A lot of other little things. So it's nowhere near close to track time, but a huge weight's been lifted off my shoulders having it run. The only downside is every time I come in the shop, I keep smelling gas. And so let me kind of show you this. So the last fuel cell I had was a Pro Comp one, and I kept smelling gas, and I thought, well, that's Pro Comp for you. It's got a leak somewhere. Well, it actually turns out it was from the Holley fuel pump, and we found that very, very small. Well, I put all this new setup in, and I hadn't even ran fuel through this yet, and I'd spilled a little when I added 5 gallons to this, and it instantly started smelling fuel in the shop. Well, I had a leak out of the back of one of these, tighten it up, and I can't find a single leak since. I mean, I feel it like every day I come out, I've been feeling it, and nothing. But I keep getting the gasoline smell in this shop, and it's driving me nuts. So I've since put fuel through all this, obviously because it's ran, but I cannot find where the gasoline smell is coming from, and it's driving me right up the wall. So that's the only problem I have with this. So can't find a leak, but I got a smell. Besides that, here's something else that's cool. Some other really cool stuff's come through. Ta-da! This is the Demon carburetor from Mark Whitener. This is the matching one that I'm using in the dyno mule, which means now I have both carbs to test the tunnel rams for the dyno mule. When will this happen? I don't know. Things are so busy in the shop. I'm going to get back to the dyno to test some of this, the tunnel ram dual plane things and also as well. But maybe the end of August, early September. Things are just so busy in the shop right now, I can't leave to just go do some testing. The other thing, Race Tech finally got sent my pistons for my blower motor. So these are them. I'm going to do a whole separate video on this, but they finally came in. This is nice because that's one of the last pieces that I needed to send this engine, because I'm going to take this engine up to Nye and have him do the whole roots blower deal for this. And that's going to go in the Camaro. And you're like, what about the nitrous motor? Well, as soon as this thing's out of the way, I can bring the Camaro in, put the Camaro's engine in, and start doing some working. However, I don't plan to, even if both of these were ready, testing right now. It's too high. It's like 102. And the Camaro with the multi-layered suit on, the windows don't roll out, it's horrible. With the truck, at least I can roll down the windows, but still, I'm not testing in this. It's just too hot. Besides that, here's something else that's cool that's happened. Keith worked yesterday, and he brought some factory cast iron heads, and look what we've got here. He flowed all these. He flowed a set of 882s, 441s, 487s, 487Xs. We've already flowed these IMCA EQ heads. And then these are 991s, which I haven't flowed yet. We need to clean those up. But those are all flowed. That's a separate video. That's very interesting. It's close. Really cool how much difference there is in the heads and how much they flow, a difference as well. It's shocking. I'll go ahead and tell you, it was a little shocking. Then also coming up, Mopar guys, been wanting this for a while. These are the B1 Mopar 440 heads. Right now I've just reamed the guides. I need to go in and do a final hone on them. Then I can start cutting the valve job. I've got one project right now I'm about to finish up as far as grinding goes. Then these will be getting some grinding done. So I know Mopar guys been dying waiting for this one. Most of the other ones are like, I don't care. And I get it. But these will be getting done. These should be pretty cool for a 440 Mopar stuff. It's really nice. But anyway, that's what's going on. The other thing, and this is a huge thing. Last week, my son did his final swim meet for a long course season. That's where they swim like they would if they were in Olympics. And it was a state one. So the best club swimmers in the state. There were 500 swimmers there. He finally made his first finals ever. Now, he made the B final, but that still counts. made his first final ever in the 400-meter course. He knocked off 13 seconds in about a 3-week span. So it's the first time he's ever gotten underneath 5 minutes. He did a 4:47. He qualified number 16. Actually, it was kind of weird. It was 17, but they had 2 scratches, so he made it in. However, he didn't know, he didn't think he was going to make the finals anyway. He just gave it hell on the preliminaries. And so he literally gave it everything he had. You could tell because he was on a tear on the preliminaries. Well, when he raced the finals, he was already gassed. He'd been swimming for 3 days. So he was really, really fast, and 100 a second and a half faster there, but then he just didn't have any gas left. He ended up being a little bit slower than he did even in the preliminaries. Not bad, but you could tell he was a little tired, but it was a good one. I'm very proud of him, so I have to, as a dad, you got to brag on your son a little bit, but so there you go. But anyway, that's what's going on in the shop, and guys, thanks for watching. You guys take care.